Everyone has choices in life. I am a teenager, and I don't always want to listen to you. Though you may know what's best for me, I'm not always going to listen, and I will disobey. I do understand, though, that as my parents, you're just trying to provide me with the best advice and to help me make the right decisions in life. However, I feel that rebelling against your rules every now and then will help me grow as I go further down the road of life. Most children argue against their parents to obtain more attention. Others also break rules to test limits. However, some do it to make themselves feel powerful. Rebelling against you, my parents, may not always be the best choice, but occasionally I know that it is the right decision because it will help me learn from my mistakes and make me stronger and more successful. Not doing my homework, staying up past my curfew, and sneaking out to go to a party are all rebellious actions that will unfortunately cause me grave consequences that will hopefully teach me to be a better person. As a high school student, I can definitely tell you that school is most stressful at times. By the end of the day, I am extremely lethargic. The absolute last thing I want to do when I come home is my homework. For example, I will literally do anything but my homework when I come home. All I want to do is curl up in my bed and take a nice long nap. So, that's what I do most of the time. But just as I'm drifting off to sleep, I will often hear a BAM! You barge in and open my door and turn on all the lights, and you start yelling at me to do this and do that, which usually means my homework. But you know what? I don't want to do my homework. So I will not listen to you. I refuse. Fortunately, I will now learn a life lesson. I thought that rebelling against your rules would be a really grand idea, but I will now suffer the consequences of receiving a 0 in the grade book for work not completed. I soon found myself in a quagmire, and that was my own fault for not listening. My rebellious actions against you did cost me my grade. However, it has now helped me learn from a mistake. I was unhappy receiving a 0, and now I know to always do my homework rather than face the repercussions of not completing a simple homework task. After I finish my homework, I never, ever have any more time to do what I want to do. So, once again, in return, this leads me to rebel against your rules. All I want to do is watch TV, and I never have time to do this. So, I disobey you, and I stay up way too late on a school night. I often beguile you into thinking that I am asleep when, in reality, I'm just faking until you leave. Once you're gone, I turn on the TV to resume my rebellion. This is still another mistake that will help me learn. Since I stayed up late watching TV, I am now overly exhausted and I can barely focus in school the next day. Therefore, I have learned on my own not to stay up past my curfew. Rebelling against your rules helped me learn not to stay up so late. The outcome was miserable, which allowed me to learn from my mistake of rebelling. My actions reinforced why your rules are in place for me. The final rule that I will rebel against will teach me the greatest lesson of all. It's a Saturday night, and you tell me that I have to go to a family dinner? What kind of parents are you? Ugh, disgusting. But coincidentally, there is a huge party where all of my friends will be that night. So I decide to fabricate a lie and pretend to be sick. Once everyone has left the house, I sneak out and I go to that party. This soon turns out to be a calamity because I know that I will be in a ton of trouble once I get home. Once you find out I disobeyed you, you take away my car and my phone for 2 whole weeks? How am I going to live? Seriously? Though this choice to rebel was probably one of the worst choices to make, I again am able to become stronger from my mistake. Receiving this punishment helped me learn that I should never get myself into a situation like this again. Losing my car and my phone just causes me too much pain and suffering. I can't communicate or see anyone that I want to see. So, rebelling in this case teaches me that rebelling against you is just not worth it in the long run. I realize now, to be a successful adult, I should listen to you more and try not to ever rebel against you again. So, though rebelling usually ends in a disastrous way, it also allows me to understand why rules are set in place and teaches me valuable lessons for the future. Your rules and guidelines have helped me so much in life, and I'm so grateful to have such wonderful parents like you. These rules have taught me that succeeding in school is important. Getting enough sleep in order to focus the next day is a must. And that sneaking out of the house to go to a party is a really bad idea. These rebellious actions have helped me become a better student and daughter. They allowed me to see the consequences of my poor judgment. Thank you so much for putting these rules in place, mostly allowing me to break them. I have appreciated the opportunity to break these rules because this showed me failure in the form of my punishments, which allows me success going forward.